Welcome to Tesla self-driving video. And we have the version 14.1.4, and this is on in Manhattan, West Side Highway, also called Hudson Parkway. And we're gonna try Mad Max right now to see how it handles the narrow highway. Okay, you could do it here or you could do it from here. We will try this time, first time to do it from here. So Mad Max. Alright. Right away picked up the speed. But I would say not crazy yet. Technically we are speeding. On this highway you should have a 50 miles per hour. We have 66 right now. I mean, typically people would not go this fast, but today has a pretty good traffic. So I will let it go to test out how crazy or how Mad Max this will go. We're going to cross the George Washington Bridge. I don't like to try Mad Max in city street because it was just very sensitive at the intersection. So a hard brake to make it a very uncomfortable. I mean, I would still feel safe, but it's not comfortable. It's even so uncomfortable, even worse than a New York yellow taxi driver. This is Sunday traffic, so it's pretty good. Look like very aggressive, taking over, passing that car, and it's gonna turn left to pass the front car again, assuming. Yes, even though it's only 0.4 miles to keep on the right, still decide to pass the front car. Okay, now it's going back to the right lane. Pretty good. It kept a pretty good distance from the car behind. We're gonna try to see if it's gonna pick the right lane up front, because sometimes in the V13 would make a mistake, so it would cause the car not be able to get on the bridge, would choose the wrong lane. There is a left lane and right lane and middle lane. The left and right is all goes through the bridge. The middle lane will not, so sometimes it would just run on the middle lane on V13, but now we're on the v14.1.4. we had not had any problem with this, and it's doing good. It's doing good again. Good. And we're going to upper level. The view is definitely better on upper level, and it's always something I would do. So again, we're testing Mad Max mode right here. In the city, going out of the city on a Sunday traffic. We're on the newest version of FSD, v14.1.4. I prefer v13 when running on the city street. It's much smoother, even though it's not as feel safety as v14, but it's much smoother than v14. On v14, I feel much safer, but not smooth in the city street. But I totally prefer v14 on highway. We're still on Mad Max mode. Seems like very reasonable, not crazy. Stay in the correct lane and follow the car on front. Here on the Palisades Parkway, definitely no Mad Max. I'll get a ticket here. There's always a lot of cops. I'm just gonna put it back to the standard. I don't want to run on the, and right now 55 miles per hour. If you run at 75 miles per hour, 100% it will get a ticket. Even at the standard, it will be reasonably speeding a little bit. I mean 65, it's somewhat I would go maximum. Now it's a 67, 68 at a 55 speed limit. I mean, consider it's following the front car. I would say okay, you know, still in the acceptable range, but not 70. I think 70 is still too fast. Yeah, 71 is definitely too fast. I would just stay on the right lane if I was driving. It's really enjoyable at the fall season to drive on this road. It's beautiful. Right side you can see Hudson River view and skyline of the Manhattan view. And on both sides of the road, Nice, beautiful tree, different colors. And if you play a music, this is alive. When you don't have to drive at all, monitoring, hopefully you can drink a beer while enjoy the view, taking you to your destination. Some people say at a windy day and the camera detects a lot of leaves blowing around, it will cause the car to brake. I have not experienced that so far. Maybe it's because today is a great day and so far I have not had a very hard windy day with strong wind, with a lot of leaves on street. It feels so good so far. I have no problem on highway whatsoever with version 14.1.4. Full self-driving just makes a road trip so enjoyable. And you're not the driver anymore. You're also a tourist who is enjoying the view along the road. Just saw someone got pulled over by a cop at the opposite lane, at the opposite side of the road. Really, driving on this road makes you don't want to speed. You want to slow him down, enjoy the view. Enjoy the moment. That's the whole purpose. You're driving on parkway. Otherwise, if you are trying to be hurry, you can definitely pick the freeway, highway. I was a little bit cautious when the other car get close to the divider and it slowed down a little bit. That makes me feel much more confident at this version of FSD compared with v13. V13 does not have so many small movements, just to make sure it's safe. Along the Hudson River, there's so many jogging or hiking place that you can go. Really, really nice. And you're basically climbing on the cliffs. There's so many big rocks. It's pretty difficult. I would say it's definitely not junior hiker that you can go on some of the trails. If you want to experience some nice view at a good, nice weather day like today, definitely a good place to go for a hike. It sees this car wants to go to the exit. It sees it has a right turn signal on, so it wants to give that car enough space while still keep the reasonable speed. That is great handling. Better than I can do, definitely. I would panic a little bit, maybe slam on the brake, but it keeps a reasonable slow speed and still give enough space for the front car to merge into our lane and get out of the highway to the exit. It's so good. Handled is so good. Perfect. 10 out of 10. Most time it can teach you how to drive properly. I would say when my wife sit on the driver's seat and have the FSD driving her around, she definitely learned a lot from FSD. It's a coach. Basically, the coach teach you how to drive properly. I mean, even though you don't really need to drive anymore, but sometimes when you travel for business or for fun and you don't have a Tesla FSD cars you can rent, that's a little bit trouble for you if you get so used to FSD. And I would say that's totally me. I would get a little bit frustrated if it's a long road trip outside in a stranger place. In a strange place, you want to have FSD. You want to have a Tesla that can get you around. But at the same time, I appreciate FSD taught my wife how to drive better, be a better driver when there's no FSD around. So it's good and bad, Yeah, the only reason go to a gas station right now is to find a restroom. Even that, it's very rare because usually on a road trip, you just combine the restroom stop with the supercharger stop. So yeah, you just need to juice up a little bit, 15-20 minutes the most, and then you can keep going until the next restaurant stop or food stop. And over here, we're going to eat at a diner, get a quick lunch at a diner, and while the car get charged up. So it will get fully charged when we're done with the lunch, or close to fully charged. and enough for us to, you know, probably for enough for the day. And you're gonna see how it's back into the charger stall, and it's awesome. It just feel like I have not touched the steering wheel from the beginning to the end, and that's the beauty of a V14. And you really feel the steering wheel. It's sometimes it's redundant. And sometimes I joke with my kid, you know, maybe one day we can go back to Tesla dealer and ask them to take the steering wheel out. Maybe that will be one of the Tesla service in the future. So it does not want to cross the parking space, instead of go around it to the supercharger. And out of order stall, it's 1A. Let's see if it will avoid that stall. I hope so.
Yep, it will avoid.
Yeah, 1A is actually a handicap. So either way, it didn't stop at the handicap stall. And this Rivian, it's kind of big. It gives us some space to the Rivian. Pretty good. Nice, perfect. Okay, thank you.